Okay, nipples and butts are on the air.
All right. So Ree, what happened last time?
I'm pretty sure you rolled a 2, my dude.
I was hoping you forget.
I'm not high.
There are things you don't forget, Jesse, and rolling
And the fact
2.
that I have only had to do recap, I think once this entire game, I'm holding on to that tight.
So for anyone who might be watching, Ree rolled a natural 1, which if you have to do the recap, a natural 1 means you automatically have to do it. And I suddenly rolled, and I rolled a natural 1 as well. So then we had a roll off. Ree rolled a 14, and then I rolled a 14, tying once again. And finally, she rolled a 12, and then I rolled a 2. So
I saved.
Sporelina does not have to do the recap again. All right, so
There is
you
a
guys, yeah. So you guys were traveling through the underworld, I should say, and you were leaving Gor Hashad, the enclave of the Ahul, and you were heading deeper and deeper towards the Fungal Forest into the underworld. Eventually, trying to find a particular settlement known as Forlorn, where there were some Drow who had made it out of the Fungi Forest somewhat alive. As you approached this forlorn, you had to, of course, search for it, and you found that there were halflings there. Halflings that seemed very not fully with the reality that they were in, seemed to be in a daze of some sort. After you fooled around a little bit and figured some things out, you found that it was actually an illusion, and some fuckery was going around in this area. You investigated a little bit further, and you found quite a scary place. All these drow looked like they were infested with some sort of a fungus and some sort of an alien plant on top of that, spores, if you will. You did some investigation and you found that the alien plant was from a xenoflora, and as for what kind or species, you do not know, but you were able to determine that there were these seeds that were planted and this mold started growing and it started to infect said drow. There were also some fungi that did this as well. There was 2 separate instances of disease amongst the drow, but were easily curable with a few quick thinking of greater restoration and a few other things. And you were starting to cure a few individuals when one of the individuals with a very large boil on his neck came out and was just crazed about what was happening. You guys were able to restore a very powerful druid drow who is from House Frasian, the matron of House Frasian, in fact. And you know that she is potentially a very powerful druid, and she was able to save the rest of her people over the course of time, of course. And she does not know what she plans on doing, but she might get out of Forlorn, get away from the Fungi Forest, and find settlement elsewhere. You eventually... Oh, and you found a big old fungi giant that was kind of stationary, and it seemed to be also under the effects of this mold. So this plant was infecting everything, not just the drow, but also the fungi. You all made your saves in order to save yourself against this fungus, whatever it was. And as you guys continued on, the matron of House Frasian gave a very special gift to our Sporelina druid. And let's see, you guys are still in Forlorn, so we're going to start there, actually. And as you guys start, let's see. As you guys start, you could see that something was on the matron's mind. I'm flipping through the pages rapidly. Matron Staphasia. And she was going through and helping her individual people one by one when she looks at Elora. And as she looks at Elora, she says, "You look like you have something on your mind. What are you thinking?"
Is this still the same night, or is this like the next day?
Sure, the next day.
Okay. Just that ready to get into the fight and get killing.
It seems like there's a burden upon you, that you're looking for something. I
Aye.
can usually sense these things.
Something to do with my before life, and I'm gonna hold up the symbol of Terezaleen.
Hmm. I've seen this symbol before. In one of the other houses in Halath.
Really? Care
Indeed.
to elaborate?
I remember seeing it in House Uvain, the 7th house of Halath. They're generally apolitical, but I disagree with that completely. That's just what they put on the surface. They restrict their plotting and scheming to a smaller scale than total dominion of Halath, at least. And they look for other practices outside of Halath in order to better themselves, in order to elevate themselves to a higher position. And it might not be the number one house, but they maintain a healthy lifestyle for sure. They are masters of shaping stone, crystal, and metal, and they're responsible for building and maintaining the physical structures and defenses of the city. But there is something more bizarre going on in their house that I was not aware of. But I remember going into their house, and inside I remember seeing some trinkets that were on the wall, maybe some things that were from past ancestors. And I remember seeing the symbol. It was quite large, a golden disc of the same thing on the wall. And I didn't know what it was. But it always stuck out as interesting to me.
That is very enlightening. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course. If you head into Halath, you can find House Uvain's abode, where they keep everything in their home. And now I need to look it up. In the southernmost part of the city, right next to the area that leads to the Dark Road, right before those gates. You can find it in the southmost part of the city, a little bit to the east.
Near the gates to the dark.
Yep, near the gates of the Dark Road.
Oh, that's gonna be deep into enemy territory, lad.
Sounds like you have your motivation enough.
I don't like when things are taken from me. Little side glance at Cinna, still nursing her scars from you.
As you look at her, matron Stephasia leans over to Kaelor. Did she take her virginity?
My God.
Kaelor, what do you say?
I just kind of like look at her and I'm like, no.
You
No.
definitely feel some tension. What's your issue? As she looks at Kaelor.
My issue. I have a few issues. For some reason, people always seem to think it's that my blood's not seeming to flow. But that's not really the problem. I don't really have much I like in this world. And what I do have keeps on getting shit on by those fucking slaving, no good char knife ears.
You're talking to a Drow. He does not mean that to you. You seem like a great person. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, I kind of feel the same way. Ever since Matron Elora took over, I've had to do a lot to stay alive. And I had to make my own sacrifices as well. Some that I almost regret. No, I do regret. But you do what you do to survive.
Well, never thought I'd hear something I actually agree with from a Drow.
Stick around a little bit longer and you'll find our culture to be a little bit more different than what it might seem.
Well, that I don't know about. You know,
How much do you know
oh,
about the Drow culture?
Oh.
I
I
feel like
mean-
this should just be a history check, and then we should base it off that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
up to you. It's up to you.
No. Let's do that. Let's see.
Because it might
how-
just be none, and it's just like your basic bias because you're mad.
It's called
Yeah.
racism.
Correct.
Let's see. Oh wait, god damn it! I'm not. It logged me out of D&D Beyond. Shit. Fuck.
Oof.
1 second. You know what? I know that history check's only a +1, so let's go ahead and roll this. What's a
+1?
12 get me? Yes.
You know the basics. You know that they do trading with their silk. You know that they are very skillful in poisons. But you also know that in terms of their potions, can be quite potent, both detrimental and beneficial potions. So they do have their uses. It's just, yeah, you just have a little bit of a bias because of your run-ins with the current Drow establishment.
You know, like, I mean, I can appreciate, you know, their arts with the poisons and the fine silks. Just, you know, if it wasn't for all the damn slaving and the murdering and just, you know, I start getting into some vagaries about how I just think about the inherent dark hearts of Drow, you know, just because.
This is very much giving the Jewish question a kind of rant, and it's making me very.
Well, I hope you can overcome these opinions when you lay eyes on Halath and hopefully overthrow that conniving bitch.
You know, I think I might not actually hate you.
Well, we'll see. As she leans over one other drow and gives some sort of a medicinal herb to them, and you can see their boils very slowly over the course of several minutes start to retract and go back into the body as they go into a deep sleep.
Correction, I did actually state when I helped her make all of the medicine that it was specifically suppositories.
That's right. I'm so sorry.
We had to just get like a little bit in, you know? It was like,
Oh, gross. You see her get the intestines from the guy that you explodified, and just like, you know, as a glove, just gonna.
shoves it in there.
But you guys wake up fully long rested at level 12. Do you want to take a quick second to go over what everyone got?
I think it was mostly just a feat.
Yeah, I got a Warcaster.
Yeah.
And that was and an extra spell.
I think
Kurtz,
I
why
got
are there
ward.
two of you?
The more
Why are there two of me?
Oh, because I see you made a different account. You forgot your password, apparently.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to deactivate your other one. Kurtzy boy, what'd you get?
I went for a feat. I got tough.
Tough. All
'Cause
right.
apparently I like getting hit.
4 tough.
All right, Elora, what'd you get?
Warcaster.
Bitchin'. Cinnamoira.
I got moderate armor
Oh. that'll
because I'm done being a squishy little bard,
help.
and I'm
Okay.
ready for a bit of an AC upgrade if that happens.
All right, Kaelor, what'd you get?
I'm realizing I forgot to select that I thought I already had, but I did not save anything.
Naughty.
Yeah,
Tisk,
yeah.
tisk, tisk.
Let me bum rush through that real fast.
Sure,
and
sure,
then,
sure.
I'll round
Sporelina.
that. Yeah.
I also got Warcaster.
Ooh.
Nice.
So that allows you to what? Cast a cantrip or something?
No, it lets you cast a spell as an opportunity attack instead of it having to be a melee attack.
Does
And
it
you
have to
have
be a cantrip, or can it be a spell?
it could be a spell. And you have
Ooh.
advantage on con saving throws that you make to maintain your concentration on a spell when you take damage.
And you can do
Very nice.
thematic spells with dual wielding.
Yep.
Fun.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right.
I have 3 feats now. I have never once upped my
Your ability.
my ability. I rolled so well when we originally that I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it where we're at.
People with feet fetish must really like you.
So
It.
with that in mind, as we're getting ready in the morning, Elora is going to approach Cinnamoira with her plate mail off and sort of in a bundle. She says, I really hate the sight of you unconscious on the ground, or on a carpet for that matter.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either.
Alright, well then, listen, no fighting me on this one, and she's gonna hand her the plate mail.
I don't know if I can take plate mail.
You can, because it is mithril, meaning it counts as medium
Oh.
armor.
Oh,
Sporelina's gonna kind of walk up, see what's happening, and she's just gonna press to digitate the armor.
into what? To a
No,
knitted sweater?
to clean it because she's
Oh.
been sweating in it for fucking months now. Did she
Eh.
clean it?
I don't
She's
sweat.
probably been maintaining it.
Oh,
That gives it that natural flavor.
ew!
Gives a.
It's a natural patina.
Ow. And that was plate.
Yeah, mithril plate is what it'll be in the D&D Beyond.
Because mithril plate says heavy armor.
It's heavy.
Mithril half.
Yeah, mithril. The mithril basically makes it count as one weight class lower.
Okay, so.
Does D&D Beyond know that? So if she equips it, she won't have like the
It should.
detriments.
I think because I had.
It's not.
What is it? What is it doing? Is it showing a disadvantage?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm
Well, I
gonna
think you'll still have
refresh-
disadvantage. It's just that you will be able to move still. Because I think if you wear heavy armor, I think the bane is that you lower your speed or something, and you don't get a proficiency. I'll double check it, and you can't cast spells.
Well, if I can't cast spells, I'm practically useless.
So hold on, let me double check.
I also feel like this plate armor would be like 3 sizes too big for her compared to Elora. And just I don't know. I feel like a small child in a grown-ass woman's armor right now.
So it says that if you put on armor that you are not proficient in, you will have disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls that use strength and dexterity, and sometimes, most importantly, you can't cast spells. So put that on and see if anything about your dex, strength, or anything else changes, and if it doesn't, then we're going to keep it. But I think no matter what, you will always have disadvantage on your stealth, even if it is mithril.
So I've got disadvantage on strength and dex.
It does that for you?
Yeah.
Bummer. Then it doesn't do it correctly. All right, I will homebrew it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Should I just remove what I've got then, and then?
Just know that your armor class is an 18 currently.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of my mithril.
Damn, your armor class is higher than mine.
And we'll just spend like an hour like adjusting pieces of plate and stuff and getting it fitted properly.
Put it in the fire like a shrinky dink.
Honestly, I fucking love the idea of that. I could cast heat metal on it, and then we could just like shape it down.
All right. I think I know what I'm getting, but I need to decide on one half of it. But I'm almost good to go.
Okay, so what are you gonna get?
All right, so I am definitely going for a feat, and I'm going for, what is the name of it? It is Meta Magic Adept. I get 2 extra sorcery points, and I get to learn 2 new meta magics.
Yeah, for sure. That's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm definitely going with Heightened Spell, and then for the second one, I'm leading towards either Distance Spell or Careful Spell, but I'm not really sure which one to pick. Distance Spell, if it's a ranged attack, I can double the distance. And then Careful Spell, it lets me spend points to basically like protect friendlies in area of effect spells.
Yes, please.
So the votes for Careful Spell over Distance Spell.
Yeah, for your very vulnerable to fire friend, please do that.
Okay, that's what we're doing. We're doing Careful Spell and Heightened. Heightened I'm going with because it lets me spend points when I can't force disadvantage with the wolf for disadvantage on like saving throw check spells on enemies.
Perfect.
All right.
Jeremy, did you not like my burden as that dump truck of an ass? Come on, that was funny.
Sporelina, or not Sporelina, send a refresher page. I added it to your thingy, and you're now armor class of 18.
Okie dokie.
Okay, sweet. I can worry a little bit less about Cinna and a little bit more about Kaelor.
Also, if you haven't yet, please do a long rest.
Yes, I have.
Basically, my armor class is gonna be 14 until I can get my first hit in.
What?
Once I get my first hit and I can cast my blood armor, and my AC will become 22.
Does it stay 22, or it just like ends at combat? It's just for combat.
For an hour.
Oh, okay. Every morning, Elora just wakes up and just punches Kaelor.
It's a third level spell
just
slot.
Punch like a stalactite or something.
Sporelina is gonna spend the morning talking to the giant mushroom, wishing it well, kind of cleaning the base of it now that it's on its path of healing. And then I kind of run into our group and I'm like, guys, I'm like really anxious to get the fuck out of here and get into the forest. Can we please hurry up?
Wait.
I'm admiring my outfit.
Okay,
now.
okay. Hold on. Sorry. Actually, 1 second. And I like run back to my mushroom friend. Sporelina just tries to bear hug the base of it. What's wrong?
You know that seed that was right here?
Yeah.
I think there are more.
How many more?
Oh, my body extends about 900 miles.
Ah, right.
I think there are 2 more.
Okay, but not in this cave, right?
No.
In the Fungal Forest?
1.
Where's the other one?
Under Embla?
The surface.
The surface? In...
Did we come across
Above
any
me.
mold in the beginning of our campaign that we just brushed off?
I mean, not that I can recall.
Can I do a history check for Ree?
Sure.
I don't fucking remember. Oh, my history is so bad.
Your
With
history's fine.
With Sporelina and Elora's history check, Elora, you do not recall any fungus or mold in the upper world where you went. Again, he extends 900 miles. There's a chance, a big chance, that you probably just didn't run into it. Sporelina, with that history check, you realize that this shit might be more prevalent than you think on this world. Because you recall your home area and a similar affliction upon the fungi.
Oh, were you talking about the place where none of the fungus grows?
From your hometown? Yes.
Yeah.
There's a black blight upon them.
Oh, yeah. God, that's been like that for 50 years? That happened when I was like 20.
It had time to grow.
Oh. Well, it's a little disappointing to think that me and my friends used to just think it was haunted, and then we would time each other to see how long we could stand on it until we got scared and ran away.
Playing with fire.
Clearly.
Shit.
You must have some sort of resistance to it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's never bothered me. I don't remember it bothering our people, but I could be wrong. Maybe somebody's gotten sick from it and I just didn't know it was from that. But most funglettes are completely immune to any kind of fungal disease, obviously, but also immune to other things as well. Poisons in general.
Well, if this thing's from beyond the stars, then possible it may be something funky going on with it.
Well,
Funky
then that
going
sounds
on
like
with
a
fungus.
good place to start. I mean, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, bud. Do you want me to take any of your spores out of the cave so you can propagate outside?
That sounds lovely.
I'm gonna jack off this mushroom. Could you not?
All you have to do is like jiggle it a little bit and a bunch of spores. You're just covered in spores.
It's raining spores.
Sporelina just goes and rolls it outside. Should I roll for me accidentally getting pregnant?
I like that idea. Roll a D100, 90 or
Daddy
higher.
mushroom.
I'm gonna roll it just to you, Jesse.
Sure. And I will have a talk with you after the session. Cool. All right. So, what would you guys like to do?
Head to our friend's home.
Yeah. Please tell
Uh,
me your dad's nicer than mine.
My dad is like the tits. You guys are really gonna like him.
Okay.
However, the guy who is like our town leader, our circle leader, is kind of a dick, and his daughter, a bigger dick.
Sporelina, please go
Dicks?
to the secondary voice channel.
Okay.
Oh, she pregnant.
Oh, she pregnant.
Oh, yes, Kertz gets to deliver a baby.
God. Oh yeah, I forgot you're like an actual medical person, aren't you?
Yeah, it never comes up.
Oh god. You could have resuscitated my ass during that last battle.
I was unconscious
Oh,
for most of it.
I guess.
And then Sporelina beat me. Kertz is good at two things: seeing if people are lying and stitching them back together after torture.
Great. My brother, the psychopath, and my brother, the racist.
One of those is a little bit worse.
He
I
did
don't
have an
know.
asshole father, so
Yeah, it's learned behavior.
I mean, you know, we both have our own deep-seated traumas that cause our horrible behavior.
Kaelor's all like, those damn dirty drows with their knife ears and their charred skins, and they're never loving me, and they're leaving for cigarettes and never coming back.
Oh, I mean, it's more of that never loving me thing that led me to go do my weird career path, and then my weird career path led me to come up with a series of, finally having some bond with my comrades in arms, and then seeing horrible atrocities committed, and then being like, oh, these people are obviously not human, because they did all that backstabbing and murdering and slaving, so obviously that's all of them.
And Kertz just has PTSD.
Exactly. And then he heard some theories from some guys at some bars, and he's like, well, that resonates with my personal experience, and I'm in an emotionally unstable position right now, so.
You think?
All right.
I just said, all right, bye to Jesse. Like, I wasn't
I-
gonna That's so awkward, like saying I love you to people on the phone. That literally happened to me earlier today because
I hate it when my boss calls and I say I love you when I say goodbye.
Yeah, it's just like such a habit because I have a doctor's appointment on Friday and they called to confirm.
Oh no.
And they're like, "Are you gonna be there on Friday?" It's like, "I sure am." And they're like, "Okay, have a great day." I was like, "Okay, goodbye. I love you." Stupid.
Oh my gosh.
Now I have to change doctors.
I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and cancel because
I'm never going back there again. How am I supposed to show up on Friday with like flowers or something?
Yes. Do it. That would be hilarious. I think they would actually get a really big kick out of that.
You have to wear a hat and tip it and say "milady."
Oh god, no.
Okay. So some things that we should probably talk about, like real fast as a group. The part of the forest that
etiquette. I was just gonna say, what mushroom etiquette do we need to know?
Well, for starters, Funglettes generally aren't like they're not mean. They're definitely not mean. They're not always the most welcoming to outsiders. But you guys are with me, and you guys are like family, so you're not even outsiders anymore. Also, I live in a portion of the Fungal Forest called the Deathcap Forest, so it is like soups essential that you don't touch and or eat the mushrooms you see, okay?
Kaelor. Kertz. Did you hear the lady?
Hey, what? Hey. What?
You know what? I'm gonna slip it on their person. Oh, that just made me think about the time that my stepbrother, when we were kids, thought it would be funny to put poison ivy in me and my brother's sleeping bags
Oh my god.
when we were camping. I remember my mom, I that rage in my mom's face. I thought she was gonna throw that kid off of the mountain. I was like, uh-oh. We're out where mom can hide bodies. Okay. It's okay. He has brain cancer now, so God giveth, God taketh. Am I right?
That
I
is
hope
not
that was a
equivalent
terrible
exchange.
joke.
No.
You put
no,
ivy. You put poison ivy in my sleeping bag. Fuck you. I hope you get brain cancer.
Now that's my kind of dark humor.
Jesus. Anyway.
It's funny because the world's horrible.
Yeah. Thank you. Uh-oh, I'm agreeing with Dan. Something's wrong.
So, what would you guys like to do now that you are exiting the town or hanging out? I don't know what you're doing.
Jeremy's just laughing. He's dying.
We're going to the Fungal Forest. Kertz is leaving. Kertz is going. He doesn't know where, but he's
didn't say
going.
the joke. I'm gonna start taking them through the Fungal Forest the way that I believe that it's meant to go, through the south to where we need to get to.
Okay, so you've never gone this way. And
Nope.
as you guys begin heading this way, it seems like it's going to be about an hour or two just to travel along this path. And you can start to hear the rushing of water and some really intense humidity is coming your way now. And as you get closer and closer, your armor is just sticking to your skin. Any leather that you're wearing is just really not having a good time on your body. You start to smell some funky smells. Sporelina, it probably smells very natural to you, but to the other
Yes, it
ones,
does.
it smells pretty raunchy. And I'm
It's
gonna need. Yep, good.
Our
Is
town
this
is
what I
surrounded.
smell like?
Our town is surrounded by natural hot springs that keeps our whole forest area moist. It is so nice. Sporelina is like literally just taking off her clothes. Full
And she's
druid.
naked.
Oh, we're doing this?
Are these the sulfury kinds of hot springs?
They are safe for humans.
But are they
I would-
sulfury?
I would assume it's probably some kind of hard water.
It's a
Okay.
little
Mineral
stinky,
water.
but I think it smells great.
It smells like home for you, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, and you just see Cinna kind of like as nonchalantly as she can just kind of pull a piece of fabric over her nose, like that's gonna help. Shall we crack on?
Sporelina's
Oh.
just like dancing around. She's also flinging the spores off of her from her friend.
Each spore is another D100 roll, just so you know. So
Oh god.
there's probably a good 1,000 or couple thousand. So yeah.
I'm definitely pregnant then. I don't
With
think I even
several
have
children.
to.
All right. So as you guys continue on, let's see. You notice a strange earthy smell emanating from the cave ahead. The scent is reminiscent of decaying vegetable matter, but with a strong fungal overtone. Ahead lies the vast fungal forest, but the darkness is suddenly broken by distant specks of light dancing through the air. The glittering motes float on an underworld breeze that carries them through a cavern so large that both the ceiling and the walls stretch far beyond your field of vision. Massive mushrooms, some rivaling castles in size, dominate the landscape far, far, far below you. A space with a spectacular display of colors and textures. More exotic growths are set far below their gargantuan cousins, utterly covering vast sections of this otherworldly cave. And let me move you guys over to that section right now. Let me copy and paste. Yep, go ahead.
Sporelina's just gonna be.
Is that
Good.
robot voice just on my end, or?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sounded fine to me.
Yeah.
You sound perfectly normal.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
All right.
Sporelina's just gonna be like, "Hi George, hi Barry, hi Cindy," to like all these mushrooms. She doesn't know a single one of them, but she thinks that her friends would believe her that she would know them anyway, because at least Kaelor's racist.
So, really quick, you are on the ledge of this particular cavern. There is a river flowing southward, and you hear rapids, and then you hear the roarings far off into the distance of some sort of a waterfall. Sporelina, you know this
Hello?
to be a very large waterfall that goes into the kombucha ponds to the north side of the fungal forest. You know that this is not something that you normally take. You've never been up on the side of the waterfall before, and the waterfall is probably a good 300 feet drop. And the rapids, of course, are not good in the
Not for
slightest.
fun, right?
But as you guys look around, again, this is a very, very zoomed out picture. It looks like for scale, the party token is around 500 feet. So that one square is about 500 feet, to just give you an idea of how big the scale is. And as you look around, Kertz and Cinna, what's your passive perception?
I think it's
21.
21.
Kertz?
Jesus Christ.
Mine's 22.
You guys.
Is it?
Mine's
Yeah.
11.
So Sporelina, Cinna, and Kertz, you guys start to hear what sounds like a skittering around you. And as you hear this skittering, you feel like you're being watched, and you can hear mumblings off into one of the caverns, side caverns to your lefts.
I focus on the mumbling.
I
Make a perception
inform the rest
check.
of the group.
15. Ooh, Kaelor's trying hard. Kaelor, how you doing? That good, huh? Boy. All right. So, as you guys are listening in, Kaelor, I'm sorry, Kertz and Sporelina, you're listening in. Kertz, you look into this cavern, and although you don't have dark vision, the first thing that pops that you can see, and same with you, Sporelina, you can see it too because you're superior dark vision. You can see red dots. 2 of them, in fact. And then behind it, 2 more red dots. And then behind it, 2
Like
more.
eyeballs.
And then you see, looking up this cave on the walls, it goes up probably another 100 feet. You just see pop, 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 opening, probably around the ballpark of 200 to 300 eyes, red eyes, looking down at you. And Kertz, you can hear
guys.
in your head specifically,
Oh god.
welcome, 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 welcome. Who comes to the waterfall, waterfall, waterfall?
I have to check my intimidation first. Not good. Okay. Just some pretty powerful travelers, he says in his head.
We said
Ooh.
we mean no harm. We mean no harm.
Oh, we mean no harm either, harm either, harm either. What brings you to the Fungal Forest?
Hey Sporelina, what the fuck are these things?
I did a nature check. I got a natural one, so
Um,
I don't know. I don't remember any of these.
Just traveling through, trying to get home.
Are you gonna
My
go down
home
the waterfall?
specifically.
Waterfall?
Good question.
How are you
Sporelina,
gonna make it? Make it.
Where are we going, Sporelina? Are we going down the waterfall? What's going on?
Down the waterfall is technically the correct direction, yes.
Seems like a drop. How are you ever gonna make it? Make it.
Well, I was just gonna jump. I'm pretty hardy.
How deep is how far is the waterfall drop?
The drop itself is around 300 feet. From here to the edge of the waterfall, you can assume it's about 500,000, 15, 2,000, 250, 3,000, about 3,000 feet. It's quite a ways off. And just as you are discussing this, you can see one of the creatures in the darkness, emerges just ever so slowly with multiple legs, a huge chitinous body around the size of a large dog. So small, but still large enough to be of a concern, with a mouth that looks to be some sort of a worm with 2 red eyes and antenna as it approaches. And you can see its mouth moving, but it's echoing in your brain as you can hear, So, what do you plan on doing?
Well, we're not sure yet. I do have to go home. We could transport via Plancet, but I was kind of hoping to save my higher magics in case we needed it.
Ooh, you're a shepherd.
Correct.
We don't get many of you around here anymore.
Yeah. They're
What-
becoming more reclusive over the years.
And what brings you to this part of the Fungi Forest? On top of the waterfall.
Well, technically, that's the way home. I never taken this way before, though. We're fighting the good fight, if you will. I'm sure you know. Well, I'm sure maybe you don't know. There's a bit of a war going on, and we're trying to get as many people on our side as possible. So I figured I'd try and get the shepherds to stop being so neutral.
We do not occupy the war machine. But it is good to see individuals come through here. Tell us, as they look to Cinna, Kertz, Kaelor, and Elora, you look different. Where are you from? Upper world?
Can I do an insight check on these worms?
Sure. And as you do this insight check, you see more and more of these rift crawlers begin slowly climbing down and just getting close to you. They are not surrounding you. They're staying their distance, maybe about 10 to 20 feet away. But you see there's like some that are probably about the size of a large dog, a medium dog, a little bit bigger, smaller, all different kinds of sizes. This looks like a colony of some sort. And they look curious with that insight check. And doesn't seem too like they look threatening, but they're not acting in a threatening manner. But more and more start to emerge, and you can see at this point with your dark vision, maybe your candle on your shoulder, there's probably a solid 150, 200 of these.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, are you from the upper worlds?
Yes.
Oh, where?
Blanket on the town name.
Ryvelka?
Well, not technically, but yeah.
Tell us about this Ryvelka, Balka. We just love hearing about the upper world. Such an alien world to us. Please, do you have any trinkets of the upper world?
I'll give him a spare holy symbol I have.
Ooh, what does it look like?
It's just a generic axiomatic general symbol.
Yep.
Nothing too fancy, just I have two.
How do you hand it to them?
I walk up to them and hand it to the guy we're speaking to.
All right, and as you do, you see him back up a little slow, like he backs up a little bit as the rest of them like get back a little further, and then you get a little bit closer. He gets a little bit closer. He stretches, like how dogs and cats stretch to like get close to you, but still want to stay their distance. And he gently takes it in his mouth. And as soon as you back away, you see other individuals begin like tackling him, like no, it's mine. Leave it. You can see them starting to argue as he grabs it in his mouth and then swallows it.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
I'll
It's
delete
wonderful. I can't wait to cherish it. It's currently in my holding sack. Do you have anything
Nice.
else from the upper world?
Oh, yes, I have an upper world dagger. Ooh, and 10 feet of upper world hempen rope.
As soon as you say this, you can see the other rift crawlers start to get really close to Kaelor. There's probably a solid 10 around you at this point, and they are just looking at it.
Perhaps we could. Sorry, go ahead.
I take the 10 feet of hempen rope I'm chopping off, and I'm cutting it off in 1 foot sections, handing it off one by one, and then I bridle bouquet.
You get a piece.
And then I bridal bouquet, throw the dagger to the lucky winner, and then hopefully successfully get... Watch
you,
out, it's
you guys are
sharp!
giving away everything we can use to barter for their passage down this fucking waterfall.
As you do this, you can see like there's a little bit of chaos as they're like really just I want the rope, rope, and just like tearing it apart kind of. Even though it's hempen rope, it's really tough to tear apart, and you can see them just fighting over it at this point. But then Cinna, you notice one of the little rift crawlers, a smaller one, probably no bigger than a 40-pound dog or 30-pound dog. It comes over and it is pulling at Shatterspike, but you notice it.
Buddy, off.
But it's from the upper world. World. Can I have it? Have it?
No, honey. This keeps me alive.
Can I have something else?
I have a very special gift from the upper world. If you can get us down and across the waterfall.
I also have something. If you help us get across this waterfall.
Can I assist in her in this persuasion or by the mechanics lead it, as seeing as I've already buttered them up with my gifts of beautiful hempen rope?
I pull out of my bag the large direwolf all white fur coat that God, we got that in.
We're going up the mountain.
Yeah. Definitely won't need it down here.
All right. As they begin fighting over all these individual things, they just go. One of them stops and goes, "We don't go down the water. Kombucha ponds do not do well with us.
Why
Does
not?
Set well. It makes our skin very irregular, and we do not react well to the kombucha ponds. You should do fine, though.
I'm assuming it's probably poisonous, right?
It is not.
Or is it acidic?
You recall
Fungal?
that it was, let me see. You recall that it was not poisonous. It just was really beneficial for you. It was like taking a medicine bath for you, Sporelina, but it was not poisonous.
Do you think their skin would be hurt? I kind of point to the humans, not so much Elora, I guess.
Don't know. Always would love to try. If you find out, please let us know what happens.
You're saying you don't know any safer way down the waterfall than just jumping, then?
Oh, we've seen people jump from rock to rock. It's quite exciting. The slippery rocks really make it more fun.
I mean, I'd be fine with it because I'm a natural climber, but you guys would have some issues.
I mean, we do have the magic carpet. I say very hushed-toned.
The thing, you know, and she just like swirls her hand.
Yeah, just
a whole new world.
The Adjecme Arbit K, I spoke in Goliath Common.
Jesse's like, that's actually what they speak.
But we are not gonna go down there with you. But if you must know, there is a side path you could take. A little bit more safe, at least until the waterfall itself.
Right. Well, what do you say? A beautiful fur coat from an animal that doesn't even live in this world for the directions down to the waterfall.
We accept.
The main creature that has been talking to us, I will drape the coat around them and put the sleeves around its little front legs, and then I'll cut the sleeves so that it fits a little bit better, and then I'll cut little tubes and then stick them on several of its legs. So it looks like he's just got little leg warmers.
Oh my god!
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We do not support individuality. Kill Jeffrey.
This is exciting. Yes, we can help you. If you can do us one more favor.
Yes.
We would love to peer into your memories and feast on them. It will leave you unharmed, harmed.
Will it leave my memories unharmed, harmed?
Indeed it will. There might be some side effects.
Yeah, like insight. I know what you mean.
Sure.
Would the side effects involve
Oh, I believe
potentially dimming the memory at all?
No. Maybe just a little bit of a drunken stupor. Like those who drink from the kombucha ponds.
Oh, I can't relate. All right.
God damn it.
Hurts a little
What do I
happen.
have to do for some memory loss around here?
I pretend to like crack open my skull and I just like sit down next to them.
Okay. As you sit down next to them, they look longingly at the rest of you. And you.
Jesse, I assume they've never had to deal with warfare, so Kertz is very interested to see how they'll react, and he's going to sit down and do it.
I'll do it after thinking about it for a minute and considering they may uptake my hateful tendencies.
All right. And just as you guys sit down,
we both tried to roll insight, Elora, and we're fucked.
and you all sit down as you can see the individual rift crawlers, their eyes begin to glow red as what looks to be a ethereal leg comes out from every single one of these rift crawlers, as if they had casted the Mage Hand cantrip. And as it comes around, you can see it immediately touch your face, and then another one touches the other side of your face, and they say, "Now take a deep breath in." Do you all take a deep breath in?
Yeah.
Kind of hard for Elora because she hasn't done that in a long time.
Everyone go ahead and make... Yep, go ahead.
Can I roll my insight check now that I'm like, oh god, this is getting a little bit too real?
Yeah.
Sure,
You
you
might
have
be
to
having
beat...
second thoughts.
I'm gonna assist on that one too.
You have to
This is
beat
like,
a 20. So, go ahead. You roll a 17 plus 3. Unfortunately,
you get advantage.
You feel fine.
You can't give advantage on insight.
Yeah, you can't.
God
give
damn it.
Yeah.
So as you guys sit down, you take in a deep breath, and you're holding it in. Your kind of cheeks are a little puffed because of how much air you have in it. And then I'm gonna need you all to make strength saving throws.
Are they pushing us off the goddamn waterfall?
Nope.
Everybody gets +5 because we're all sitting next to each other.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
25, yes!
Kertz and Cinna.
Hurts, that's just a strength check. Is your save better?
No, it's not.
If it's still a 3, then just keep it as is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kertz and Cinna, the rest of you guys feel the mage hands like push on your tummy and then push on your cheeks as Cinna and Kertz go. And all of the rift crawlers just start laughing hysterically and just go nuts at this point. And they all roll over on their back. Their little centipede-like legs are just going like insane into the air, laughing in your head. It's almost deafening with how crazy they are all laughing at this point in time.
What happened to Kertz? Did they just fall over?
And they made him.
They all immediately just kind of are still laughing, a few of them, but the one just goes, "That was the best." best prank we've ever done before. You guys were so good. Thank you. Thank you.
You okay there, buddy?
Oh, that was so wonderful. Most people don't trust us. They think we're gonna suck their brains. But really, we're just bored as hell down here. As the laughing
fair.
slowly subsides.
So are we done? Can you show us the path now?
Oh, about that. There is no path. I'm so sorry.
Kaelor, fireball, please.
Are you serious?
That's what Sporelina says.
What does Kaelor do?
All right.
Oh,
I just want to see their faces when I'm like, Kaelor, fireball.
Okay, so here, let me first role play this out a little bit, and then we'll see if I can argue for this role. All right. So I'm looking at them. You see Kaelor try to he's like going, trying to clench his fist, kind of trying to act up like he's really angry, then hold himself back, and then he's like, "All right, calm down. See if you can remember the situation." So like, hey, okay. Look, that was all in good fun, but really, after all the rope and stuff, and the disappointment after that whole situation,
You kind of owe us something.
You kind of owe us something. Surely if you can't give us a direct path, there's some way you can help us towards what we're trying to get. Hint, I'm trying to do a link test between intimidating them and then trying to persuade them, where I'm trying to scare them with me getting angry, and then persuade them to be like, no, I'm gonna stay calm. Come on, I'm friendly. Remember, I gave you the rope. I gave you guys the rope. You love the rope.
So, pertimidation, got it. Alright, so let's go with, let's start with persuasion. See how it goes.
Alright.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
And as they think it over for a moment, they kind of reconvene with each other. You see them looking eyes wide open at each other. You don't hear them. You assume that they are discussing something between themselves. And they just say, "We unfortunately cannot help you, but we might be able to assist you in a different way. Maybe this will become of use to you. As the one of them stands close to you, Kaelor, turns around, lifts up its tail, it's in essence its exit hole, and immediately starts to like a little slime comes out a little bit, and then something shiny, bing, bing, into the sludge on the ground comes out of its butt. This was an unfortunate traveler's leftovers, but maybe this can be of assistance to you." And what it looks like, Kaelor, is it is a ring, a golden ring, and it looks like some sort of a either gold or topaz on the top of the ring, with what looks to be two hands caressing the gold or topaz gem.
All right. Kaelor's gonna just not even pause. Gonna dig through the deposited stuff from its storage pouch, and we're going to try to see if I can impress my friends and figure out what this is.
Arcana check. The DC is 22. Nope.
With that roll, how confident is Kaelor in his own assessment of what this is?
Not confident at all, but you can act confident if you so desire.
No. Kaelor is gonna try to save face, and he's like, "Well, I don't know what this is, and I know I don't know what this is. Hey, one of y'all that more familiar if this have any idea what this is? It seems important and possibly magical."
Could I do an Arcana check?
You can certainly try. With that 20, yes, it is magical. As for what it is, you've no idea.
Yeah, there is definitely something coming off this. What I would know about it is jack shit.
It definitely helped out my digestive tract, that's for sure. Really made things float along, if you know what I mean.
Great. Great.
Okay, so Healy McFeely Topaz ring. Got it.
Kertz, you were gonna say something?
I just laughed.
Is it a feather fall ring? Can I do a Arcana check?
Sure. 22 is the Arcana check. Tough
Great,
to say.
perfect. Love that for me. Love it. Nobody has identify, I don't think, right?
If we want to sit down for an hour and study it, we might be able to figure out what it does.
You're more than welcome to stay. We'd love for you to stay. Please tell us all the stories of the upper world. Please, please, please.
Jenna, didn't you study stories in college?
Oh, did I ever? And if all I'm going to say is if we are going to sit down and try to identify this, I'm going to tell our little friends the absolute most boring class lectures I can remember from my years in college.
Roll a performance check and see how good you are at explaining what's going on. And explain this whatever this is. 22. They are enthralled. Every single hand movement you do, you see the eyes just whoop, whoop, follow your hands perfectly like a ton of cats, and they are just absolutely enthralled by you. They think it is the greatest story they have ever heard in their lives, even though to you it's like super boring. You don't give a shit about it, but they think they like more, as they continue to ask for more and more.
I shall continue to entertain these little shits to their little heart's content with more boring stories from college.
Okay, and as you do, which one of you is taking over the identification of this ring?
I'll just sit down with Kaelor or whoever over the hour, and we'll just spend the hour to identify.
Someone without me. My intelligence is not high.
Me and Sporelina will sit down, and I'll give her advantage or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, it gives it to you automatically. You understand what it is, no matter what. You don't need a roll.
I do not understand this concept of knowing magic by non-intuition. You just intuit it, right? That's like how it works. And then these items.
Just give it to me, Dad. Give it to me.
Yep.
Alright, so after about an hour, Sporelina, you are able to identify this as a ring of telekinesis. Really helps things float along.
Funny, I almost took the telekinesis feat.
Luckily, Jesse has the feat of telecommunication, so yeah. That was a terrible joke. Anyway, moving on. So, you guys now have this ring. The Rip Crawlers are begging for more from Cinnamoira. And, yeah, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna keep talking until I'm pulled away, because at this point I'm too enthralled and, like, entertained by their reactions to want to leave without being, like, literally picked up and taken with. They're adorable.
All right. So yep.
Like, I was just looking at it like this. So telekinesis allows you to cast telekinesis at will.
I guess, yeah.
No, sorry, the ring at will, but only objects that aren't worn or carried. So it's like we can't use it to like send each other down the water.
Don't think so. What does it say about a creature?
It just says, while wearing this ring, you can cast telekinesis at will, but can only target objects that aren't being carried.
Being worn or carried. But that's still, like, a creature is not being worn or carried. So, like, I think you could cast it on a creature. You just can't cast it on, like, the weapon of that creature. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
That's how I interpret it.
If that's your ruling, that's fine.
Yeah. But the rip crawlers lead you to an area of the fast-flowing rapids on the side right over here, where you can see that there is a small little, and I mean real small, like you guys will be right next to the wall, and it looks like slippery rocks, and there's probably maybe at most about a few inches to get your feet on the side of the wall, and you can see that there are lots of little rocks and boulders that are sticking out of the rapids that you might be able to jump to and fro to get down the side of the river. But the Rift Crawlers, they wish you well, thank you for the stories, and thank you for the upper world enlightenment, and they go back into their little cave.
Goodbye, little friends.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Oi, oi. Hey, I am going to send you more stories.
Please, 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 please. Do it.
Does the sending spell work with you guys?
We are magical. As they all raise their mage hand and other things, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have more stories for you, so stay in touch. Know my voice, and I'll send you more stuff.
It's all gonna be haikus because you have to be under 25 words.
That's fine.
All right, so you guys are at this portion of the river. It's probably a solid several thousand feet before the actual waterfall itself. What would you guys like to do?
Explain to Elora how I want a small army of those guys at my disposal because they're like cats. And I like them.
Well, two of us. I'm assuming this is either going to be an acrobatics or an athletics skill check.
Maybe. We'll find out.
If we were to try and jump between the rocks.
Sounds like it.
Then I say... I'm definitely getting on that carpet. This both my athletics and acrobatics are shit.
I was gonna say,
athletics.
Kaelor can turn into a bat. I have natural climbing, so I have a climbing speed.
I have teleportation circle.
I can make someone a floaty mist.
I have dimension door.
Dimension door, I think, is
up to 500 feet.
Oh, 500 feet. So you could get to the base of the waterfall.
I could, and I could take people with me if they so desire.
One person.
I could take a people with me.
A people. Well, again, we have the Kaelor can fly. Spore
You'll take the carpets.
Can climb. I can carpet with one other person. It's a 6'4" carpet. Yeah, it's one of the ones with 30-foot flying speed.
This is all assuming it's dim light, though, because...
It most certainly is.
Okay, alright.
In fact, it's practically black. And in fact, Kertzy boy, that little flame that you have on your shoulder, yeah, that's out. It's gone. There's no way with this rushing water, the breeze, and the humidity, and the splashing of water, it's extinguished. You are in the dark.
Does anyone have a torch I can borrow?
Yippers. Give me 1 second. I think.
Now I have some stuff I can make a torch with.
Okay, ironically enough, I've got an oil flask and a lamp. I do not carry torches because I'm a civilized human being.
I have a bullseye lantern too.
I would borrow something that you would not want to, that you would like to lose.
Jesse,
I got none.
Jesse, can we get a clarification on the exact distance of this again?
Sure. You're at this edge right here, and you know that this river goes about 3,000 feet before it drops 300 feet at a waterfall into the kombucha ponds.
Okay.
Is this actual kombucha?
We'll find out.
Kertz, I just pull you in really close, like uncomfortably close, and I lick your nose, and I cast dark vision on you.
What's Sporelina's tongue? I would imagine it's not very wet. Because
no, it's like lichen. It's like kind of furry, almost mossy.
So it's like getting licked by moss.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's really soft and spongy like moss too.
All right.
And now you're like, oh, maybe that's why she talks like that.
So, how fast is the water going around here? Like, is
Probably
it
around
like
60 to 70 miles per hour. Yeah, it's fast.
Okay, so is it fast or is it like evidence of rocks rapids also?
That, yes, that one.
Oh.
If you are going whitewater rafting, this would be a level 5.
Ooh,
Okay.
damn.
So guys, good news is that I can turn you into mist. Bad news is that I cannot turn you into a mist long enough to survive the rat. Wait, actually, let's see. So 6 seconds. Okay, actually, no, if we are willing to go very slow, I have enough for everyone that can't fly by some other means to turn into a mist and very slowly float along at 10 feet per turn. We're actually 20 feet if we're dashing to wherever we're going.
So,
Kertz is just gonna rock jump. This is taking too long. He's gone.
question:
Oh my
do
god.
we have water walk available to us? We do. I see a thumbs up from the kitchen.
I've got wind walk.
I mean,
Said it. Kurtz, make an athletics or acrobatics check. Go.
Yeah, Kertz is gone. He's done with this. He's impatient.
We're gonna have to
I
fucking
noticed you're
resurrect you again,
impatient.
motherfucker.
As you guys watch, Kurtz is going from the wall to a few different stones, making a few slips along the way, but holding himself together pretty well. He has made it a quarter of the way before you guys can do whatever you want to do. And yeah, I'll give you 6 seconds to decide what you want to do.
all right, who wants to be a mist? I'm like, take it or leave it.
I think Kertz is the only one who couldn't fly or do anything.
Congratulations, Kurtz. Are you willing to be a mist?
He's gone.
Gone.
Sporelina is full sending down the thing
Oh,
with
wait,
Kurtz.
Okay, well, I'm Batman flying, not bat form, but I'm holding out the cape like it's wings and flying around.
Alright. Elora, you're flying on the carpet, and Senna, what are you doing?
I'm gonna use Dimension Door.
That's only 500 feet.
She can be on the
Well-
carpet with me.
Can she?
If it's
I-
that's a capacity of 800 pounds.
Yeah, so that should be good enough with all of your equipment and everything. That should be enough for Elora and Cinna. Curtsy boy, to get to 50%, make another athletics or acrobatics.
Wait, so am I not using Dimension Door now?
Nope, you are on the carpet.
Okay.
We could use that to get somebody down the waterfall. We're
That's
crossing
true.
the river right
Curtsy, you get about 50% of the way right to around here, and you are finally met with a flying Kaelor who's just flapping his cape around you. The flying carpet of Elora and Cinna gets caught up to you at this point, and Sporelina, you're like rock climbing.
Yes, she is.
All right, and you have a special climber thing. What's your climbing speed?
She's coming. I'm gonna set up her laptop so she doesn't have to run back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm cooking. It's dinner time for us here. I am going to. Well, my climbing speed is the same as my walking speed, so 20. So I'm taking my sweet little ass time, just malazing
right.
down.
And
Oh
as
wait,
you guys,
I take
Yep.
this back. I take this back, Jesse. I am gonna turn into a spider, And-
Ooh.
then climb down. Duh! Why didn't I think of that earlier?
What kind of a spider?
Let's see. By the way, I do need more sheets.
Oh,
Because
shit.
yeah, there was like I think I was missing 2 that I couldn't put in a sheet. Okay, not that one. You know what? Because it's our first time and like fuck it, I'm gonna use 2 of my wild shapes and I'm gonna turn into a heritage spider.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Who is
All right.
massive, by the way. I made myself tokens. Are you proud of me?
Yeah,
you
it
didn't
is
have
very
to.
nice. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
So let's take a gander at this bad boy. Ooh.
Yeah, so it
First
gives
off,
me
love the token.
yeah, right? I like the little whirly things. I was like, oh, it's like a web. Anyway, the heritage spider has 40-foot climbing speed, so I'm just spidering it up.
Okay. And you can
Spider.
easily make your way
Spider.
through there. And I'm gonna need Curtsy Boy to make an athletics check again for 75% of the way.
I am also going to keep Kertz within range of my web, so I can web him if I need to.
That's guidance.
Jeremy's from the kitchen. Tell him to guide himself.
Doesn't do much.
All right. So, Kurtz and the rest of you, the path takes you to a wide yet shallow underground river that caresses the rocks into a smooth sheen. A worn path is just barely visible beneath the surface of the rippling water from bioluminescent algae clinging to the ancient stone. Further on, the river cascades serenely down a short but beautiful waterfall, then follows along a gentle slope into a larger cavern. It seems the only safe route leads directly through the cascading waterfall, then continues down a series of switchbacks and into a massive cavern. The rest of you are flying or hugging the wall. This is the point where Sporelina has to go on to the back and forth switchbacks underneath the waterfall. So you guys are no longer on the wall. Actually, you probably could go on the wall at this point, but you'd have to go wide unless you want to go for a swim. But Curtsy Boy, you're gonna go like under the waterfall. There's like a small little road, and then it's gonna like go down this way and then switch back. And it's gonna go down this way and then switch back, and then it's gonna go around this way and it's gonna switch back, etc., etc. As you cautiously progress down the slope, an otherworldly sight greets you: a forest of fungi. Mushrooms of all shapes, sizes, and colors stretch out below you for as far as the eye can see. The vast cavern is faintly illuminated by small, floating spores, which glow with an azure light. An earthly aroma greets you, carried upon the same air currents which push the glowing seeds aloft. Curtsy Boy, I'm going to need one last athletics check as you feel there are certain parts where the waterfall is intense and it kind of catches your armor every now and again, and you need to make sure that you're steadfast, and you do just fine as you come down the side of the wall and eventually make it to this point right here. The waterfall ends, and the flow of the river slows as it mixes with a pool of vicious dark liquid. A strong odor of vinegar is apparent here, and something begins to sting your eyes, except for Sporelina.
I would like to
Guys.
say, I thought Kurtz was going to die on this.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I got very lucky. Can I try drinking the water?
Sure. As you reach down, you can see sponge-like blobs of material are look to be on the surface. They float on the top of the bubbling red-brown liquid of the ponds. You take a sip, and it tastes kind of sour and a little bit of alcohol and vinegar combined.
Ooh.
It doesn't. It's not bad. I don't know how would you would like it. I mean, it's up to you. How would you like it? It doesn't taste
Can
bad.
there
It tastes
be a
like
hint
food.
of lemon and honey and some ginger in there too?
Meanwhile,
Probably not.
Sporelina's spider form crosses its arms and looks at Kurtz and says in spider,
You cut out.
"Don't fucking eat or drink anything when we get here."
Ah!
You knew I wasn't. You knew I wasn't gonna adhere to that, and I think I have a cup in my inventory.
I'm assuming you're using your hands to like drink, but as you pull your hand away and you're like drinking, you look at your hand and it looks like your skin begins to take on the texture and condition of a mushroom. Feels mushroomy, like Sporelina's skin, very similar to hers. Just your hand.
Stupid.
Is it spreading or just staying there?
It's just staying there.
He would like to empty his water skin and fill it up to analyze it later.
Sure. You can do that pretty easily.
Okay.
It's the kombucha pools, right?
These are the kombucha pools. But
Does
other
a
than
19 hit Kertz?
that... Does a 19 hit, Kertz?
Meets.
That's gonna hit.
You are now restrained by webbing.
I'm gonna make a strength save.
Yeah, he probably will. It's
Strength check. It can be athletics. It can be
I
athletics.
moved 15 feet away from.
If it's athletics, yeah.
15.
Say
As he just rips through it and grabs the kombucha into his water skin.
He'll follow the
Sporelina
group.
just like if the spider could look sassy, the spider looks very sassy.
Wants to investigate his fingies.
Yeah, with that medicine check, you can tell that there is some sort of bacteria now on your skin. It doesn't seem like it's any big deal. It actually feels kind of good to you.
It makes you
he-
feel like a fun guy.
God.
I hate this.
Yeah.
We're just asking for these puns.
I'm gonna ask to borrow one of Kaelor's dagger and kind of lightly scrape at the hand to see if it comes off or if it's like a covering or it's actually like changing my hands.
Here, borrow my last dagger.
We'll give it back. Just, you know.
I mean, I don't really
Science.
need it. I mean, it's been a while since I stabbed someone with this.
Right, and as you try to do it, it does not come off. It seems to be a part of your skin now.
Ooh.
Tap spider legs, all of them on the ground impatiently.
I kind of just look over at Sporelina, like in like a mutual knowledge
Sigh.
of this. Oh God, boys.
Kertz wants to check his tongue too, in the inside of his mouth.
His dingling.
Yeah, he didn't stick his dick in the water.
No, the
Welcome
little...
to a fuzzy tongue life, buddy.
Did the inside of his mouth change?
Sorry, say it one more time. What'd you do?
Since I drank the water, he wants to check his. Since Kertz drank the water, he wants to check his the inside of his mouth and like tongue, and stick his finger as far down his throat as he can to see how far it goes.
You remember how Sporelina described her tongue as feels like a lichen? Kind of feels the same way.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting later.
Oh my god. By the way, this spider is intelligent enough that I can speak. So, we're talking.
You warned them.
Forgot. This is the Fungi Forest mix music, so please enjoy it.
Nice. All right, well, Sporelina, lead the way. Where are we headed?
What does it matter if nobody ever wants to listen to me?
A curse
I'm
doesn't listen
listening
to anyone.
to you.
You knew I wasn't going to listen.
Stupid boys. Stupid fuzzy tongue. I hope you enjoy that, you stupid idiot. It's never going to go away, you know. Sporelina is spidering away towards the direction.
All right, and as you head down southward through the Fungi Forest, what do you see? As you near the bulk of the enormous mushroom groves that dominate the cavern, the smaller fungi that appeared in patches before become more common, entirely filling the area in between the larger kin. Trails of composted vegetable matter have been beaten down by both foot and claw, providing passage through the fungi forest for travelers that prefer not to cut a swath through the plant life. Some of these pathfinders' remains can be off in the distance. Tatters of clothing and pieces of bone precariously left sitting atop several mushrooms off the beaten path. And as you guys go through this path of the Fungi Forest, I would like a skill challenge. We're going to roll initiative. I'm going to describe a few things for you. Already loving this music. Go ahead and roll initiative. Sporelina, use your spider's initiative, please.
My spider's initiative is better than mine.
Very nice.
I do it. Oh, crap. Put my token down.
Do we not have the initiative thing up, or am I just not seeing it?
It's yeah, I do not have it up. I do not.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. I wonder if I did this. Oh, hell yes, I did do it. I am the smartest. All right. All right. So, as you guys come through this fungi forest, you can tell it is a wild, wild place. Things start moving. Things you didn't realize that could move. Although, you know Sporelina, so it doesn't surprise you too much. But you can see mushrooms start to sway and bend. And as you move close to them, they either get close to you or sway away from you, depending on how they feel. You can see things flying above you, sturges, some sort of insect, large insects, as well as all these puff balls that just kind of slowly come through the air without much to say of anything. But along with that, you can continue to make and see different patches of individuals that may have come and gone from here as well. There are many different kinds of mushrooms, and spores are all throughout the air. You follow this path, but you realize that you will need to go off the path, Sporelina, if you wish to go where you want to go. And so you are covered with massive amounts of mushrooms all surrounding you, different kinds of mushrooms as well. And what do you do to get to Sporelina's home? And we are going to start with Sporelina herself.
Seems fitting.
20. Mine is a 21. Sorry.
Where's your 21?
It's a +2
Ah.
from the sword. I can't fucking code it in, so.
Yeah. Did I roll before the 20 because I clicked it before, but then it didn't show up, so I rolled it again?
Yeah, I see your 20. I see your 20, so I'm going to keep that. But yeah, okay, Kertz, go ahead.
Sorry for stealing your thunder.
No worries.
But,
Yeah,
You're on her shit list tonight.
I am.
Well, it's like Sporelina's like, okay, guys, this is what we need to do, and then Kertz just like pushes Sporelina out of the way and says, "Listen, I know all about the fungal." You're mansplaining the fungal forest to me right now, but go off.
Not mansplaining. He's just moving ahead to be able to push any fungal items that want to fall in our path or move in our path.
I would argue he's not mansplaining, he's humansplaining.
No, he's
He's
mansplaining.
humans.
But yeah, he'll push like the fungus out of the way, not trying to damage it with a sword, just, push it out of the potential path that we're taking.
All right. And go ahead and make an athletics check with disadvantage because you're being gentle about it. And as you push it aside, you feel a snap as one of them, you push a little bit too hard. as one of them snaps, and you look back to Sporelina. Sporelina, what do you do?
Oh, he does not look back at Swirly.
He knows better.
He doesn't have to. He can feel that Sporelina's 8 eyes jamming into the back of his head right now.
Yep.
All right, and go ahead. Sporelina. I assume your dexterity is higher than Kaelor's. That's why I'm going with you.
Right now as a spider, yeah, probably. Well, actually, maybe not. I'm a +2. 15.
Mine is
Kaelor.
also +2 at a 15.
Sporelina, home turf advantage. Go.
Sweet! First, I'm going to drop my spider form, and I'm going to return to my Funglette form because, duh. I'm also, second, going to get naked. Third, I'm going to fix the mushroom that fucking Kertz broke. I'm going to replant him in and kind of give him a little pat and say, oh my god, I'm so sorry. You know, thummies, they're dumb. That's actually slang for what we call humans down here is thummies. Anyway, and then, so I am naked. I am Sporelina. And I think I have to do a survival check. This sounds like the best thing for me to do. I'm gonna survival my way, find us the most direct path from here to our home. Or to my home.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I had me Spitus up and not my actual character sheet. Sporelina.
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 Hot damn! You
Nice.
feel like you have found the pathway
diggity.
home.
Sporelina is like, as she's walking heavy and like purposely trying to sink her feet into the ground. She's it feels sad to be here.
All right, Kaelor, what do you do?
God, you know, I'm flying in. It's getting dense. It's a shroomy forest. I'm like, fuck it. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and burn it for the day. I'm gonna go into bat mode, and I'm just gonna fly around. You know, flutter around, following along, be it a bat. And you know, actually, it's been a while. We've been on the road. I've been traveling. Now I'm a bat. It's now socially acceptable for me just to shit as I fly around. So you know, we're just gonna take a nice big old dump as we flutter around the mushrooms as a bat.
Okay, and so what skill do you plan on
Make a
using?
poop check?
Make a poop check.
We are going to be using
Intimidation.
No. We are going to be using perception with bad advantage for hearing things off in the distance of my echolocation.
Cool. All right, go ahead and roll perception. All right.
Why is that off advantage? Okay, there we go. Second roll. Okay, that's better.
All right. As you listen to things bouncing off of the mushrooms, it's very hard to listen because mushrooms have a very soft surface, so the echo is kind of muffled. It's really difficult to hear in this area, unfortunately. All right, so that's Kaelor. Next is, it looks like, Cinna.
All right, well, learning from my brother's mistakes, Cinna is going to tread as lightly on her feet as she possibly can around these mushrooms, respecting them to the highest degree.
Okay, do you think stealth?
I was thinking acrobatics.
Okay, I'll accept that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, you are very light on your feet. And
What?
you are... Go ahead.
Oh no,
Look at-
sorry.
look
I was
at-
relaying to Rhea. I accidentally pressed the talk
Oh.
button.
No worries. I was just like, wait, what? Do I get an extra 20? What?
Nope. All right, so
Okay.
you're very ginger. You are just hopscotching all of the way throughout the Fungal Forest, and as you do not break a mushroom, unlike Curtsy Boy. And all right, Elora.
I just give him a look of, see,
Oh, he's
see
ahead
what
of
happens
everyone.
when you're careful.
He's not looking back.
As we're moving through the forest, and and his sister are. It's all for.
Is he cutting out for anyone else?
Yeah, cutting out, Jeremy.
Barry's behind us too, and Lord knows that guy's not going to be nimble on his feet. So I'm just in the back of the group on Barry, just sort of perched up on his neck, and as everybody else is focused forward, I'm focused around us, and when I see something that looks like it might be watching us to sneak up on us, Gary and I will turn our gaze to it, and both with red eyes stare it down to disillusion it of any ideas that it could take.
Okay, intimidation. Okay, and with that 21, you are able to intimidate, even though most of them are beasts. I don't know if you can intimidate a beast, but that's fine. So it looks fine, and you guys are able to get through with 3 passes and 2 failures. We have 1 more to get the 4 that we need, and we are, back up to Kertzy Boy. What are you doing? This is the last one.
Oh, man. Perception's already been used, correct?
You can still do it again if you want disadvantage, or if you want to do it with disadvantage.
I will actually have it on normal. Yeah, so he'll use perception to pay attention to what he is pushing from now on, and that it's not pushing too hard.
Okay.
So this is just regular.
And
Guidance?
try as you might this new thing with this dark vision is just really, really tough to see through things.
With an 18?
Nope, wasn't enough. And it was just really difficult to look through, and this new dark vision is really messing with you. And as you go through, it's just hard to see the different colors of things, and it's really grayscale, and you just aren't used to it at this point, and you knock over another mushroom.
That's not good.
Sporelina.
You hear an audible groan from Kertz.
And a little... I fucked up.
And you just hear another footfall of Barry as it smashes through another set of mushrooms, because once again, I'm just carving a path behind.
All right, and as nice. As Kertz breaks it with this one mushroom, the rest of you are doing as best as you can to try and focus on what you are doing. And just as Sporelina, you hear you cooking.
I'm here.
Just as you guys are passing through, Kertz breaks this mushroom, and you stop for a moment. And those of you that were trying perception, you failed at your perception, so never mind. You can see, Sporelina, because of your enhanced dark vision, you can see coming at you looks to be very, very large and dense swarm of puffballs. And you know that puffballs are generally a nuisance to you, but you don't know how your companions might take it on. And this puffball is coming, the swarm of puffballs are heading directly into your location. What are you doing?
Oh.
Way to the world.
Okay, everybody, cover your orifices.
Okay.
Actually, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cast Gust of Wind to get them to change direction.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. 342. Sorry, I'm just looking up. There we go. Ooh. Okay. All right. So this is going to be a Gust of Wind, probably a Strength contested. You're against your Gust of Wind. What would be your spell save DC?
My spell save DC is 19.
All right. So it has no chance of winning, but let's just see what it is. It's a 12 minus 5. So, as you cast this Gust of Wind with a second level spell slot, you can see the wind just for 1 minute as it just continually pushes away this puffball swarm until it is no more. And you feel accomplished. You feel good. You feel like you saved your companions from something that probably wasn't good at all. And just as you were thinking this, you feel a slight rumble underneath your feet. This occurs all the time. There's earthquakes sometimes, but then you see several mounds open up as individual ankhegs begin to emerge from this area. I'm going to need you all to roll initiative as they have located yourselves.
I'm definitely not to blame for this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I passed my check.
Why will it not let me?
By the way, I think I learned that if you did not put it into the initiative order correctly, just roll again and then put your first initiative and you can click it yourself and do it yourself. I thought that only I could do it, but I guess you guys can do it as well.
Yep.
All right. Kertz, you have a slash next to your name.
Yeah, I tried to. I don't know what I did.
All right. Kertzy boy, it is your turn. What do you do? As these eggheads come out, you can see their razor-sharp claws coming at you with acid coming out of their mouth. Anything you want to do?
Yes. And that will be... we might have to do this later. So, Guiding Bolt at this bad boy.
All right, 17 will hit. Anything else? As it lights it up and is now emitting a light, actually. So 25 points.
He'll go 5, 10, and that'll be it.
I don't recall, did you guys ever see Ankhegs back up in Rybalka? Did you ever fight these Ankhegs?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, got it. Good. These are different if you did. Kaelor, it is your turn.
All right. Let me make sure I got this mapped out. Okay, centered over here. We're gonna do the 20-foot radius locust thingy.
Locust. So locust swarm?
It is insect plague, but yeah, same gist.
All right. 26 Constitution saves. All right, I think that is definitely going to fail for both of these boys. That's going to be 26 points of piercing damage as the insects just cut through all the chitin and rips through pretty easily. As this concentration? It is concentration, so you're concentrating on that.
And I'm gonna use my movement to hide behind my bony friend.
Okay.
Save me.
Barry. And this is a 20-foot radius, so it's like, I don't know, that. No, it's way bigger than that. Fuck. 20-foot radius is like that big.
Like, it was centered back here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, and Kaelor, that is your turn. Sporelina.
Okay.
Wow.
Are all 3 of the bugs covered in the insect swarm?
Just 2 of them.
Okay. I can't see the aura if you put it up. Let us. We are going to call lightning at 4th level, and I'm gonna hit the glowing one because I have advantage on that, don't I?
Indeed, you do.
Yeah.
If it's a spell, if it's an attack roll, then yes. If not, then no.
Well, call lightning is an attack. It's just a spell.
If it has a save DC, it doesn't count for that.
Does it have a save? I guess it does.
I think it's a dex save for Colette.
Yeah, it is dexterity save. Okay, fine. Then I'm not gonna hit that one. I will hit the bottom one.
All right.
Call lightning.
Kertz, you already went. I'm deleting that token. Dexterity save 19.
Wow.
Natural 20.
Ouch.
It jumps out of the way just in time, away from your lightning damage. Anything else?
I'm concentrating on that, and no.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. And so, Kertz, I've deleted yours. And just as you guys were looking at these insects, you guys feel a massive earthquake underneath your body. And all of a sudden, out from a mound, destroying a bunch of mushrooms on its way, a massive Ankheg comes out and is going to rush forward and is going to open up its mouth, and in a spray of acid is going to cover everyone except for Kertz as it sprays you all. I'm going to need dexterity saves from everyone.
Sorry, I just got kicked out. Hold on.
+5 to everybody. Unfortunately, no, Sporelina's within it, so yeah, with everybody.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Beauteous. Elora, you take half damage. Barry takes the full acid damage. Sporelina take full acid damage. Kaelor take
Jesus.
full acid damage. Cinna take full acid damage.
Okay, so if I'm remembering correctly, we haven't healed since the last encounter, correct?
Yes.
What was the last
Yes, we
encounter?
have. We had a full rest in the mushroom cave.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, wait. Okay, we did. It just didn't save from last time. I was wondering why it was at 19, because that didn't make... Alright, so I'm just at super low health instead of dead.
Good, good. All right.
Great
And
to
at
hear.
this
I'm
point-
gonna hold on one second. I have to make sure I can do this. Yeah, I'm gonna use absorb elements as my reaction and to absorb
Sure.
some of that.
Absolutely, go ahead and do that rolls, and while you do that, this Ankheg is going to come out, and it comes right behind Kaelor, and is going to attempt to bite you and grapple you with a 13 to hit, Kaelor.
Okay. So, god damn it, 13 barely hits.
You are grappled, and you take 9 slashing and 1 acid. I believe that puts you down.
I am at 4 HP.
You are at 4 HP, so you are grappled, and make a Constitution saving throw, please, to hold on to that concentration.
Yeah, the 68 is not accurate. I'm not sure why they're not connecting like they normally do. I'm at 74 max, what should be. Alright, so Constitution saving throw, here we go. Wait,
With 21, you are good. You hold on to your concentration of your swarm, and at this point, you can see the mama Ankheg immediately screams out with a I can't do it, like a I don't know, something like that.
was nice.
And you can hear a buzzing of some sort as individual, what looks to be wasps, come close to you all. And we are going to get them in just a moment. Barry, Barry, what do you do?
Well, Barry's gonna turn first to the one next to him that just grabbed Kaelor, and he is going to attempt to grab that one as his first attack. (16) against acrobatics or athletics.
5.
So he is grappled, and then I'm going to use him for my second attack. Rip apart. So he needs to make a strength saving throw. That's a failure. If he has less than 100 hit points, he's dead.
How would you like to do this?
So he grabs Kaelor in its pincers, and then Barry just grabs him with pincers of like 2 large spinal bones that are sharpened at the end, grabs it in both hands, and then just tears it in half. And then it's going to rush, and this one, and we're just gonna do the last 2 attacks physical.
So,
quick question: are these bugs supposed to be large or regular size?
These boys are large, and this boy is very large. No, I'm sorry. Let me look. This is these guys are large, and what's bigger than huge?
Massive.
Monstrosity.
Okay,
Monstrosity, gargantuan.
It's massive and gargantuan.
Okay.
There is no massive.
So they're supposed to be taking up a 10 by 10 space.
It's not perfect. It's like they're technically still a medium creature size-wise, but I just made them a little bit bigger just to show that they're kind of large.
Okay. I was just trying to like figure out what space they were occupying, so it was in between. And I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I'll hold down Alt next time to like put it next to you.
Okay.
Yeah, the one of them will hit. By the way, one of your slams will hit. Okay, Barry. Anything else?
Barry's gonna look at my for his bonus action and do a penetrating or a gaze.
Right. And this is gonna be a +5 with an 8 + 5 is 12.
That bitch is paralyzed.
Nope, 13. It's gonna use his legendary action or legendary resistance to resist.
Cool, good burn. All right, that's it for Barry.
Cinnamoira.
All right.
At the end of Barry's turn, this creature looks at you, Elora, realizes that you're the one controlling Barry of some sort,
Wait,
somehow, some way.
We skipped my turn?
Elora, you're at 4, apparently.
Oh, yeah, somehow I got switched to 4. Weird.
Oh, I see that. Oh, shit. I will bring it back to you, Elora.
No, I was 4. I was supposed to be 4, somehow it changed to 4.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll just go at 4. I fixed it. Barry's done.
Okay, at the end of Barry's turn, this creature, the Ankhag Queen, is going to look at Elora, assuming that you are the one that is controlling Barry somehow, and is going to reach out, and this is a +12 to hit. 9 + 12 is 21. Yeah. And, alright, it is going to, at this point, this is piercing. This is acid, and that is +5 for the piercing. So 7 + 5 is 12, +6 acid, and you are now grappled, being held onto this creature. And Cinnamoira, you see Elora just being held by the pincers of this creature as the acid in its claws are just piercing through and burning her skin. What do you do?
I am going to cast... How is everyone looking?
I'm about to.
Kaelor looks pretty messed up.
You're...
Don't heal Kaelor. I got him.
Okay. Just wanting to double check because sometimes it's hard to get a visual. Okay, I'm going to hit this big old bitchy bug with... Oh, fuck, never mind.
Unfortunately, it goes wide.
I'm gonna use my luck.
Oh,
I'm gonna use
okay. Here we go, natural 20. Calling it now. Close. 21 will hit indeed.
All right.
Just barely hits. 28 lightning damage as it blazes up this creature. You are concentrating on the spell, by the way. And as it blazes up this creature, as it you feel like a little static electricity, Elora, as you're in its grasp.
And then I am going to give Kaelor some Bardic Inspiration.
Alright, Kaelor, you have Bardic Inspiration.
He needs it.
And
I will get to the rest of you, just give me a moment.
And this creature right here is going to... and open its mouth at Barry. Barry needs to make a dexterity save or take 10 acid.
Come on, Barry.
No, it's 11.
Alright, take 10 acid damage, Barry, please.
Gotcha.
And at the end of that turn, this creature is going to use its last legendary action to take Elora and put you in its mouth and swallow you, in essence. So that is going to be... this is going to be, what would it be? Constitution saving throw, please. You take half damage as the acid in its gullet begins to erode away at your skin, and you are now restrained inside its throat, in essence, its thorax. Elora, it is your turn. You are inside restrained.
Cool. Awesome possum. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and that only works on humanoids. Okay, just changing some shit around here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and first we're gonna attack it real quick. It'll be a disadvantage because I'm restrained.
Mm-hmm. As you try to move a little bit to stab it with a vorpal sword, and you are easily able to do that. I was hoping for a natural 20 because that would have been really dope.
Double nat 20.
Yeah, like if you just like opened it up like Hercules, just whoosh, cut off the head.
Well, it has legendary reaction, so
It does. But,
Yeah.
but for the flavor, it would have been real fucking cool.
Nice, yeah.
Alright,
All right,
so
roll damage.
do that. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna go ahead and do a second level.
Remind me what that 3d12 is.
3d12. I don't.
Right above your
Now
text.
I clicked the wrong. I clicked bloodletting. There we go. So 37, 46, 56, 61 damage.
Jeezy Pete.
Nice.
Jeezy Pete.
Elora is very angry.
And if that doesn't trigger it to spit me up, I'm gonna. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attack a second.
All right. Well, first off, a 10 plus 10 is 20. It does not spit you up. That is going to 18 will miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
It just makes me think the bug is like, you
Right.
guys know that TikTok sound where it's like, why is it spicy? Like that's what the bug is thinking as it's trying to eat Elora.
Can I see Elora?
In the throat, you probably saw some like necrotic energies come out of the thorax of this creature, but you don't see her physically, no.
Hang on. I just need to make sure I need to actually see. Is Elora within 30 feet of me?
Assuming, yeah.
Okay, she gets a plus 10 to that.
Oh,
A plus 10 to the Vorpal.
attack,
Yes, sir. Yep.
What?
War God's Blessing. When a creature within 30 feet of me makes an attack roll, I use my reaction to channel divinity to grant that creature a plus 10 bonus to the roll.
There
And
it
it
is,
doesn't say you
baby.
need to see.
Nope, within 30 feet.
A butt pat from the axiomatic general.
All right. All right. So then, in that case, it does the damage, and it's going to do some decent damage.
This makes me think of like when my players are like just killing all of my baddies, and one of my players, Adams, always goes, "Are you sad we're killing your friends?" And I'm like, "Fuck you." Negative inspiration for
55,
you.
another 55.
Okay, 55 points of damage. Beautiful. And this creature is thinking it swallowed a little bit more than it probably should have. Anything else, Elora?
But action, cast blood armor on myself, but we'll see if that even does anything for me.
Do a little dance.
That's it. You can't see anything, but my blood starts pouring out of my wounds and hardening on my skin.
Oh joy, that's
At the beginning of this turn, does it take swarm damage? Kaelor.
For starting its
No,
Starting
if
its turn.
It's if it ends its turns or it enters, then it takes more damage.
All right, in that case, it is GTFOing and is going to come over to Sporelina, and I totally forgot about multi-attack, so I'm an idiot. 1, 2, 3. Oof. 14, natural 20, and 23.
Well, the last two hit.
All right. Wow, that's a 15 slashing right there.
Well, that crit was so bad though.
It was.
Oh my god.
It's like a one hit anyway. But it's going to grab you, and you are now held on. Please make 2 Constitution saves for your concentration checks with an advantage, I believe.
Correct.
That is correct.
All of these
Okay.
are fucking 3 attacks. That's rough.
I put myself out there because I thought I was going to get attacked.
That natural 20 is gonna vibe.
Do one more for the second one.
Oh,
Which
for the
you
second
have to
attack,
roll.
I see.
You have to roll 2 1s or a 1 and a 2, or 2 2s, and you're fine.
We good. We good. I was like, con saves one of my high ones. Please don't fail me now. Okay, real quick. What is that? 15, 21, 29. Okay.
As you guys can hear the buzz get louder and louder, a creature, a titan wasp, approaches. And as it approaches, you can see the first character it can find as it approaches from beyond. And it is going to make a few attacks. This is going to be a d20 plus 7 to hit Kaelor. So that's
I'm really
4
starting
plus
to feel like
3.
Jesse doesn't want me to go home.
You know how wild the Fungi Forest is. And then that second one is a plus 7 as well. So 16 and a 13. Nope, 12.
So that hits in it. Oh, okay, the second one just barely doesn't hit. The first one does hit.
So the 9 will hit. So that's a sting. And this is going to be 4d8.
I mean, if it literally will always kill me because I only have 4 HP left.
All right, make a con save as well. All right, so that 14, you save the poison, so at least you're not poisoned, so that's good. If the poison reduces, it does not. Okay, you're good. So you are letting go of your concentration, and you are down, but not out yet. And that will be the giant wasp's turn. As this Ankheg is going to emerge and come over to Curtsy Boy and is going to splatter all over you with a DC Dexterity 13 to save.
Wait.
What's up, Kaelor?
1 second. Oh God, let me make sure I've got the wording correct. All right. Okay. So, Strength of the Grave. My subclass trait. All right. So I'm gonna be making a Charisma saving throw to see if I drop to 1 HP instead.
Go ahead.
All right. Come on, baby. All right. So how much was the excess damage I was taking? I took over there.
20.
20. Okay. So I could still technically make this. I got a plus 9.
The 16 or higher.
Wait, all right. Was it a Charisma saving throw?
Yep.
Okay.
Plus
never mind.
5 actually too, because you're near 10 feet with me.
Hey!
Looks like a save. You
I have 1 HP.
And as you have 1 HP, this Ankheg is going to come out as you are prone on the ground. Nope, you're not prone because you have 1 HP, so never mind. So there's going to be a regular attack. It is not flanking, unfortunately. The thing is flying. That's a 20 to hit. You take 4 slashing and 6 acid. Go ahead and make another Charisma save, which is 5 plus whatever.
You hit that Ankhead attacking me. It was this one.
Oh shit, I forgot that turn. No, that was the acid flash. That's already done. You took the damage from the acid, right?
Wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 12 acid damage to Kertz, and that was the end of its turn.
That only happens once per long rest, so that is used up.
Alright, you go down. And it is not gonna stop. First one is a crit if it hits.
Are we sure all these Ankhegs have multi-attack 3 bite?
These are the same Ankhegs that you know.
Wait, so they're all in the same initiative?
No, okay, pause. The Ankheg statistics, according to Monster Manual, is not the same as these Ankhegs. Just going out there.
No, okay, that's cool.
No. I meant this one attacked me.
With an acid splash.
And that was the one with the 2 initiative, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed, that was the one with the 2.
Cool.
Jeremy, anything else? Jeremy, you good?
No, I would love to have a conversation with how you balance this combat encounter after this game is over. But go ahead.
I honestly I rolled for it and I rolled really dang high and I feel very sorry. But not all battles are meant to be won, so we'll see what happens. Kaelor, that is going to be 2 crits against you, and you are unfortunately auto dead. Curtsy boy, it is your turn. You see your brother. Oh, you have the last breath. Oof. I'm sorry. Excel. There we go. You have your last breath, Kaelor. So outside of combat, outside of everything, what would you like to do as your last breath? Dying breath action. Upon rolling 3 death fails, or you just dying, your character gains a rush of adrenaline. Immediately out of turn order, you take 1 action. This action goes up to DM interpretation. You ask for whatever you would like to do. For example, an attack on enemy will always be a crit, and you can use or bless a remaining object with your power, etc., etc. This is a rule of cool. What would you like
question,
to do, Kaelor?
can I spend Sorcerer points on my final action?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to use my latest level up, and we are going to spend the sorcery points to auto-succeed for everyone within the radius, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, which I definitely still have, and we are going to cast the biggest fucking fireball fuck you on all of these things. So everyone will be taking damage, but you will auto succeed on the check for this fireball.
So it looks like everyone except for this lone Ankheg out here is going to get it. So let's roll some damage. Go ahead.
I'll see you all in hell.
Holy ball sacks. Alright, well this guy, I'm not even gonna roll for him. And these guys, they can make rolls. So that's for this Ankheg. Wow! It's almost like it was fated. 42 points of damage for him. Titan Wasp is going to be a +6. 15 plus 6, it will save, so it will take half damage. That is plus 21 points of damage. And this queen is only a plus, not enough. And that will be 42 points of damage. Beauteous. As Kaelor, you take your final breath. I foresee you like reach up with your hand in the sky. You feel the fireball emanate from your hand. You launch it up, and it kind of goes off into the darkness for a moment. And then comes down and just engulfs all of you in a fiery flame. Unbelievable, and that was a beautiful, beautiful ending to your life, Kaelor. All right, Curtsy boy, it's your turn.
You couldn't just not hit him for like a turn. The one time I was actually gonna heal somebody.
Dude.
15. For fuck's sake. Okay, we're activating.
I just... Oh, God.
We're activating.
So you admit it then, you're a bad cleric.
Oh, no, yeah. He's not... He's a war cleric, not a healing cleric. He's going to activate the Tricentaur's Claw Thumb, so I'm going to make a multi-attack of up to 3 attacks. And hopefully not miss any of them. So the first one...
You don't get advantage, so that's a miss.
And it's over.
Oof.
Wait,
Bummer.
that was a bonus action.
Do you only get 1 War God's Blessing?
I have 2. The War God's Blessing is for somebody else. But I can also use Channel Divinity Guided Strike to give myself +10.
There you go.
Well, in that case, it will hit.
Okay, and then the second attack.
That'll hit.
And the third attack.
That'll hit. Barely, but it hits.
Okay, so I get all 3.
I'm going to take just the 12. Oh, God, there's a lot of numbers. Okay. Oof.
So it's the 12 the two.
Baby, just do the math for him.
Yeah, tell me the math.
Just do the math.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll get back to you.
All right, Kaelor, you are dead. Sporelina.
Sporelina is gonna cast Freedom of Movement on herself.
You weren't grappled anymore. The guy got emulsified.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah, he'd gone dead.
Then never mind. So, I almost called myself Sabrina. My name is Sporelina. Sporelina is gonna come up to this big motherfucker and in bug go, you have really messed up. Our whole family had a deal with you, and you just came out of nowhere and started attacking people you don't even know. And I'm gonna try and reach my long arm down, touch Elora, and cast Freedom of Movement on her.
It's a stretch.
It is a stretch, but I'm 9 feet tall. Come on! You already killed one of
Give it
us.
to us. We're
Roll a D100. If it's a 40 or higher, a 60% chance, I will allow it.
Listen, D100s, I know we haven't always been friends, but I need you really bad to do this.
Please.
Yep, you
Fuck yeah!
reach out. And Freedom of Movement, is that what it's called?
Yeah, so she immediately gets 5 feet of movement, and he basically throws her up, and she's no longer restrained.
As you are no longer restrained and covered
Don't
in
you ever
acid
tell
all
anybody
over
where
you.
I've been?
Here's the full thing, because there's a little bit more. You touch a willing creature. I'm assuming you were willing.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
Just
For
a
1
70
hour, you are unaffected by difficult terrain and spells and spells and other magical effects can neither reduce the target's speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained. The target can also spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints such as manacles or a creature that has it grappled.
All right.
Finally, being underwater imposes no penalty on the target's movement or attack.
All right. Beautiful. Well, Elora, you are certainly good.
You're free.
And now...
Also, just for
Go
fun,
ahead.
'cause I don't think this will work. But can I just roll intimidation because I full bombed it? Like, you are naughty. You know exactly who I am and my people are. Just
Allow
for
it?
fun.
Sure.
Yeah. Like a natural 20 on this, that would be great.
Oh, I wish.
All right. At the end of Sporelina's turn, this creature, it looks battered. The Ankhead Queen looks battered and beaten, and it doesn't look too good. Yes.
It was below maximum hit points when I hit it, right?
Very much.
I need to do different math. It's not 78, it's more, because I have advantage on all attacks, so I had a natural 20.
Okay, you might kill it. So we'll just hold that there. Barry, while you're doing that, Barry, can you take out this last one right over here?
Is it already hurt?
Very much.
7.
Okay. Then I would. Very smash.
It was 95 damage.
Kertz, how would you like to kill this? And Barry, how would you like to kill this Ankeg?
Very smash.
With a natural 20.
So in between Barry smashing, Kertz is just going to start cutting off legs, cutting off body parts, and he's just going to leave it as intact as possible without any extremities.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. As you just cut everything off, Sporelina rips Elora out as it explodes, or not explodes, as it barfs Elora out at this point. And Barry, you moved over to this guy. What else are you doing?
So I have 3 attack. First attack, I'm gonna try and grapple it.
This boy's dead.
Oh, he died? Okay.
Yeah, because Kertz did his remath, and yeah, he had to remath it. I will keep that 9. So you're trying to grapple the Titan Wasp. Ooh, wow, these guys are strong. They have a +7, 17.
Okay. Another grapple attack.
Is this a save or just a strength check?
It's it would be athletics or acrobatic.
Okay, so then that was really a 14. And then this one will really be a natural 20
God
plus
damn it.
4.
All right. Well then, Barry just.
Do you have advantage?
Oh, I wouldn't quite call that a like.
Yeah.
So
All right, so that's 17. Beautiful. 17 points. Anything else, Barry?
Bonus action. Gaze at the giant wasp.
All right.
So wisdom.
Guess how wise Titan wasps are. That's a 9.
Not wise enough. It's paralyzed.
All right, and Cinnamoira.
All right, I'm going to. Why is there an orange dot on my character?
Oh, you're concentrating on something. I don't.
You were
recall what it
concentrating
is.
wish bolt.
I was concentrating on big dead bug, so
Indeed.
that's done. Okay, can I arch my my lightning over Sporelina and Elora to get to the wasp?
I don't know if Witch Bolt works like that. If you can switch targets, I just honestly don't know. Can you do the description?
A beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards a creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature. On the hit, the target takes blah 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 lightning damage, and on each of your turns for the duration, you can use an action to deal blah 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 lightning damage to the target automatically. The spell ends if you use your action to do anything else. The spell also ends if the target is ever outside the spell's range, or if it has total cover from you.
I'm gonna say no, unfortunately. Witch Bolt sounds like it's
You'd
only
have to
for this
recast
target.
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to recast it.
Oh well, in that case, fuck it. Yeah, go.
I wasn't gonna just go woo over.
I thought you were saying use your concentration. That's fine. Go ahead. Light 'em up.
No, I knew my concentration had ended.
If you're attacking this paralyzed dude, you have advantage.
Okay.
Roll again, just in case. There we go.
Auto crit.
Auto crits. Forgot about auto crit. No, that's only for melee. That's not for ranged, unfortunately. So go ahead and roll that damage. Cool, 1, 2, 1. Beauteous. Anything else, Cinnamoira?
I am going to give Elora some inspiration.
All right. And Elora.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have my movement to get, and then I'm going to spin around and attack the paralyzed wasp for a.
20 will definitely hit.
So close.
All right, so that is a. Ooh, that's plus another 6, 24, plus 14, so 38, and then tattoo. Double this as well.
I'm gonna stop you right there. How would you like to do this?
She's just gonna get up and spin the sword, lop it off, and like slip on her own blood and the vomit, and just it sort of careens her over here, and she's gonna take the other attack against this.
Okay.
And its head exploded.
How would you like to do it? Just head exploding?
Yeah, it literally just like, it's very farcical. Like she slips on the thing, the sword just goes off on its own and just lops the head off of it as it's trying to eat Kaelor.
Yes. And as you do, the battle subsides as you look around and you can
Sporelina slides to home base being Kaelor, pulls out the last 100 gold worth of diamond dust and revivifies our friend.
What are you using? What specific spell?
Revivify?
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking. All right.
No, we don't have time for anything else.
And with that, Kaelor, you come back with
1
hit point.
HP.
Welcome
You are
back,
ouchie.
bloody bastard.
You're muted if you don't know.
Sorry, do I need a reroll? Do I need a roll for this for the homebrew rules? Because if I remember correctly, I died once.
Not for
Well, it's not for
Revivify.
Okay.
Now you've got 20 HP. You're welcome.
Nope, now you have 70.
Kertz gave him 70 HP.
Okay.
Yeah, take that spell back.
Can I take that spell back?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
As you're about to like reach down to Kaelor to help him, you just see Kertz
Hey, you
as
fucker.
Kaelor just immediately lights up in radiant energy.
Well, so welcome to the Fungal Forest. How's everyone feeling?
Why do you live here?
Well, to be honest, normally the creatures here respect me, but maybe seeing me with you, they are confused. Also, Funglettes generally travel in packs, so we don't really get attacked. You know, we're kind of travelers, so we travel like our whole circle at a time, or we stay put. So.
What were those things? Oh god. Ow.
Jessica, now that we're out of combat, can I do a nature check to see if I would know?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a nature check. With advantage, because you're very native to
Home
this.
turf.
Yeah.
Sick.
27. You recognize this as a Titan wasp, a very common occurrence here in the Fungi Forest. They just are always around flying, and you assume that they're part of a hive. There's likely a hive somewhere around here. The queen is very unusual. A queen will almost never leave her hive unless this is a like a secondary queen that got booted from the nest and took her own little horde with her to start a new nest. So this queen was very much like a
renegade.
Kind of a renegade, but like also like teenager, not a full-blown queen yet.
Got it.
But yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What are they called?
Eggheads.
Eggheads?
Ankheg.
Oh, like Ankheg.
There we go.
Yeah, they're Ankhegs. This is pretty bizarre. Normally queens aren't out like this, so this one must be young.
Are they like honeybees or something?
Oh, the wasps are like, or the giant wasps are like the wasps that you see up there, just, you know,
well,
big.
Yeah, no, that I understand, but this thing is, are they like, do they have like whole colonies?
Yeah, they're more akin to like ants or maybe beetles.
Fuck.
What? That was a young one? How do y'all even survive to adulthood? Oh wait, how many children do y'all have? Cause, fuck, that would explain a lot. Ow, oh, fuck.
I mean, my parents only had 2 children that we kept. So, you know, it's selective breeding in most tribes.
Do they eat the other ones?
Correct. Or we turn them into poisons.
That's
That's kind of fucked up.
You what?
Yeah,
It's before they reach consciousness. Don't be such a baby.
That's a good use of your ability.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
So you're like our father, except for, like, if you didn't recognize consciousness. Oh, fuck.
When do you think he recognizes consciousness?
That's my point. I don't think he does.
A mushroom doesn't.
People are things to him. Oh.
A mushroom doesn't reach consciousness until their 15th year. Then they are plucked from the earth and given a name. That's why we aren't considered adults until we're into our 80s.
Wait, you're 80?
I'm like literally almost 90 years old.
Shit.
Yeah, no,
Honestly,
we're babies. We're babies,
Yeah,
Kaelor.
You guys are little babies. It's so cute.
Yeah, shush.
Also,
Shush.
although maturity is really on a spectrum, so if we're being honest, you're probably mentally older than I am. But should we keep going?
So that's why you haven't learned your understanding about the true evil of the Drow yet. Okay.
You do realize that I live where the Drow are from, and the Drow themselves actually killed my grandma, so...
Exactly, so you understand their evil nature.
Correct. Yeah. My grandma Polly was a wonderful spore lady, and she was almost 6,000 years old. She was massive, too. The Drows burned her to the ground.
Wait.
How tall was she?
You know, just like I kind of point around to the skyscraper tall mushrooms around here. Once you get really old, you plant yourself in the ground and you don't move anymore. And then you just become like a wise old mushroom that kids come and talk to.
You literally just see the horror grow in Cinna's face as she hears all this information.
I don't know, that seems totally normal to me, but I am very confused about why, if you understand why you try to stop me from murdering all the Drow.
Well, my hatred stems to one certain Drow, not all Drow.
You'll learn. Give it another 90 years and you'll learn.
I just don't think that as a person who gets judged a lot by the way that they look, that it would be appropriate for me to automatically hate every person that looks like the person that killed my grandma, so.
What if they were all slavers and tried to murder you by underhanded means? You don't understand yet, you're still young. You'll learn one day. You'll learn that I am definitely right in my extremely xenophobic ways that are deeply rooted in trauma.
Well, at least you're honest.
Kaelor did not verbally articulate the last few parts of that, but yes.
Yeah.
You worry me on a deep level.
Yeah, my brother is reaching maturity soon, although he is super annoying. You guys will see. Did you guys want some background so you at least know my parents' names and stuff before we get there?
Yes, please.
Yeah, and the
I wanna
leader
have
of your
some
village as
sort of
well.
respect.
Oh, easy. Oh, well, the leader, sorry, is, I think it's Morel. Hold on, what did I name him? Yes. The leader is Morel Skullcap, and his daughter is Mycel Skullcap.
Total bitch, right?
Oh, she's an absolute bitch. She just thinks she's so perfect. My parents are, my father's name is Sybin, and my mom is Porcini.
Can you put those in the
Yes,
chat?
I sure
please?
can. I sure can.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm losing my mind every time you say a name.
Okay, so Morel Skullcap.
The mother?
That's the
Yeah.
leader.
Oh,
That's the leader.
Leader. His daughter.
Yep, Mycel is the daughter.
Why can I just picture Sporelina like drawing little mushroom figures in the sand and explaining the like interconnecting relationships between a bunch of different people?
I am absolutely doing that. Sybin and Porcini Dapperling are my parents. My brother is Silo.
I imagine in my head that Mycel looks almost exactly like Sporelina, except she's got a blonde top to her head and slightly bigger boob area and like a slightly more like hourglass figure.
Precisely.
I
And of course,
almost
there's
asked
my.
for your last name.
You what?
I almost asked for Sporelina's last name.
Dapperling! Sporelina Dapperling, so nice to meet you.
You said Silo was your little brother, right?
Silo is my little brother. And of course, there's my best friends. Hold on to your pants for these names.
Why do you guys do this to me? Why do you come up with
For
weird
fun.
names? Can you just come up with like normal names?
Sure
These
thing.
are normal names. Are you kidding me, dude? She's probably got like, there's probably 6 other silos in that dude's class or something.
Yeah, Silo's basically Johnny. My best friends, of course, are Katrina and Shripley. Hold on.
What the fuck? Oh, come on, Elora. Don't.
And Shripley. They are like literally the best. They're gonna be so pumped to see me.
But there, as far as I know, there's like 4 different ways to spell Stripeligh. Can you spell that out for us?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's Stripeligh. Her mom could have done like the Ley, but she wanted to be different. I hate myself.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't. This is too much fun. So like basically like my whole point of even going up to the earth, well, the above ground, whatever, was to bring back cool people to show my circle that not all outsiders are bad. So I'm going to say this once and with my full fucking chest. If you are not on your best behavior, I will kill you and feed you to the mushroom gardens. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm always on my best behavior.
I promised other people I'd be on my best behavior.
Roll insight, Sporelina, if you so desire.
God, that's so close. If it makes any difference, I just don't trust Kertz at all because I already told him not to do things. He was trying to be careful. He was trampling mushrooms. He ate or he drank out of the fucking kombucha lake. I already don't trust him.
I see right through your lies.
But he's not lying to you. He's lying to Sporelina. Also, I forgot about that. Would lesser restoration work on it? He'll use it anyway, but try and get rid of the mushroom on him. Hands, tongue, I guess insides.
Let me read a thingy real fast.
I mean, he doesn't know. He'll still burn it.
Yeah, so the people were gonna have a really hard time, like, and listen, you know, part of me, I have grown up on my travels, and I kind of understand why Morale and Mycel, the Skullcaps, are angry, you know, and that they kind of hate all that aren't mushrooms, and they refuse to welcome outsiders, and I get it, because Morel's wife, Mycel's mom, was killed in our Drow insurrection that also killed my grandma, so because of that, they have a natural bias. So I can't necessarily blame them. However, it's a changing world. It's time to jump out there and become part of the world and to help people. I mean, our whole circle is notorious for our poisons and our healing abilities. Our apothecaries are next level. We could be healers and helpers in this war, and I would really hope that they could see that.
So you'll finally help me in my quest then?
Well, I mean, yes, the whole point is to kill the Drows and all that stuff, and I do think, if anything, Kaelor, you could lean into that with Morale, and I think he would, well, agree with you on a lot of your statements.
Oh, it sounds like I'll love this guy. This is great. I'm finally going to find the solution to all my problems.
Yeah. I mean, it was actually kind of weird, you know, when the Drow attacked our village, they killed my grandma, obviously, and they killed Mycel's mom. But
That's like the Drow.
Their main objective was to steal our poisons. They stole almost 800 gallons of it.
Why would you have 800 gallons of poison lying around?
Well, not lying around. We would use it for trade. But it's kind of like what our village is known for, is our death cap poisons.
I mean,
so.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, do you have any ideas how much with the whole, well, you know, the whole association, do you have any idea how many gallons of poison we went through in a year? It was a lot. I mean,
Fair.
to kill that many royals, I mean, normally it wouldn't be that much, but they're so drug addicted with their fucking resistances that,
Yeah. Yeah, poison is hard to use against drows, but it's not hard to use against a lot of other things. Especially our specific poison is a lingering poison, so it really is hard to get rid of. Also, I mean, my mushroom friend back in the cavern, he told me that apparently one of the seeds might be in my town. So, it would be nice to go destroy that ice seed now that we know not to use fire on it, though.
Yeah.
Do you mean like seed and not as in like spore seed?
No, the seed. Remember that we destroyed in the ice cold one,
The fire
the
giant.
frozen one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, not one of your cousins then.
Not that I know of, but I have quite literally thousands of cousins. So,
Wait, you have plant cousins?
what do you think I am exactly?
I didn't think so, but then you started talking about how seeds could be your cousins, and I'm very confused now.
I mean, lots of things could be my cousins. Mushrooms are very unique and diverse.
They like to fuck.
Yeah, generally, yes. But in my town, all the guys there are either stupid or I'm related to them, so.
Hey, you like them small and furry, don't you?
Not anymore.
Winks at Kurt.
Kertz is maniacally laughing.
Kertz is also married. Sporelina is not a homewrecker. I am many things, but I am not a homewrecker.
I mean, I can still laugh at it.
Available. Look at some fresh decay over here. Oh yeah, some only partially rotted skin.
Honestly, if we're being honest, your smell probably doesn't bother Sporelina as much as it bothers everybody else.
She's
It's probably one of those things that she's like, I don't understand why everyone makes fun of you, Kaelor. You just smell like earth.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, there's a auspicious cracking sound as Barry, behind the group as they're all talking, rips the mandibles off the queen and like positions them like little wings on his back.
He's a fairy now.
Barry fairy.
I know who's the person who's gonna be most excited to see you guys though is Sybin, my dad. He was so pumped for me to get out of the village and like find a new place. He's actually the one who made me the disguise myself hat that made me look like a furbolg.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wait, so that's clever. So you pretended to look like a furbolg, so you could pretend to look like another creature.
Well, I just pretended to look like a furbolg on the surface because obviously this I could have just gestured to my body. Doesn't really fit in on the surface. So also, don't take this personal, Elora, but could you maybe like just keep your head on? Or
Which one? This one? Or she pulls out a Drow head, or this one? Or the other Drow head? This one?
I would really like just your head on your head.
You got it, dear.
Thank you.
As for Kertz, you cast Lesser Restoration, and the glisten on your skin and your tongue are gone.
Oh, boring, Kertz. You were starting to actually kind of look hot.
Hey, your wife might
I
have
can go
actually
jump
liked
back
that.
in if you want. I'll get it on the way. Wait, no, I have a water skin. Yeah, I don't have to worry about my hands.
He drinks it again.
We'll try it once and see how you like it, huh?
Yeah, and if not, I'll fix it.
Oh, that's right. Morel's wife is named Belette.
Will this count as a proper short rest as we've been chatting and role-playing all this time?
I will accept that. And
Yeah.
as you guys roll
What's
for hit die,
How do you spell billet?
Bolette. B-O-L. Where the fuck did I just leave it? B-O-L-E-T-E. Bolette.
Bolete.
Yes.
and as you guys are rolling your hit die and catching up and catching your breath in this fungi forest, you hear something off into the distance, maybe about 20 feet from you as it emerges from the fungi itself, and you hear, "Don't move! Don't move! I think it's right by you," as these two individual funglets come towards you and immediately kind of throw Kaelor a little bit off to the side as they get down on all fours and look at this one little tiny mushroom. It's actually an herb on the ground, and they go, "That's gotta be Elamisen Chemovar. Yeah, that's definitely it. It's beneath the tall mushrooms. It's exactly where it should be."
Sporelina kind of
man.
stands up. What are you doing? Those are my mushrooms.
What? Well, it doesn't have your name on it.
Your face is about to have my hand on it if you don't back up.
Whoa. You don't realize what you got here. This is Elamisen Chemovar. You know, it's the kind of herb that gives you some far out wisdom.
I know exactly what it does. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, why don't you explain it, miss? I know everything.
Can I nature check this real fast?
Sure.
While this is
Come
going on, Kertz would like to eat one.
What's Kertz doing? Sorry?
He would like to eat one.
You're gonna eat one?
My name's
Why?
Jay Truffle,
Why
and this is
are
my
you doing
hetero
this?
life mate, Silent Bob Truffle.
At this point, it's just to piss Sporelina off.
Sporelina
Sporelina,
just
You're
it's on
pissing
his
your
hand.
sister off too. Just hope you know.
as you are arguing with these Black Truffle brothers, you're thinking about it. You're like, this is definitely something that gives you advantage on wisdom-based checks and saves for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And as you do this, you look down and it's missing, and you see Kertz chewing.
Also, the other side effect from such rare mushrooms is that your stomach lining starts to deteriorate and falls out of your butt.
He'd like to medicine check that. Would that be medicine or insight?
Maybe more of an insight, and Sporelina, you could do a deception or persuasion, whichever you prefer.
I mean, clearly I'm deceiving. I don't.
Well, let's do a deception. Come on, let's see it.
Oh God, no! Kertz, do you think you can
Guide
Lower
her.
that-
you can guide me?
Yeah, he'll guide himself. That's a great idea.
Deception.
Gotta be a 23. Can you even do it? Yes, you can! If you get a nat 20, you can.
No!
Kertz continues chewing.
Why are you like this?
Because
Whoa.
Stuck in caves.
style.
I've been stuck in caves for months. I want to go home. I want to kill these fucking Drow, and I just want to go. I'm sick and tired of being in these goddamn caves all the goddamn time.
I'm
And I'm taking it out on you.
I'm feeling a lot of animosity here. Yeah, a lot of animosity.
Thing one, thing two, get out.
But wait, what about the Elimison Chemovar?
Kertz will throw it up.
No.
Oh.
Kertz will purposely throw it up.
Oh God, Kertz.
You are just a disgrace to society. I hope you realize.
He's very
that.
upset. He's been down here for so long. He hasn't
I
seen the
don't
sun.
care.
Oh, as far as I know, it activates through your salivary glands. Yeah, you've already extracted all the chemicals that you need. You'll
you wanted
enjoy
it.
Don't worry. As you hear this, you see Kurtz's eyes go, his pupils dilate very wide. Kurtz, your advantage on perception, insight, and everything else for wisdom checks, you are just seeing a whole new world at this point.
Far
Oh,
out, man.
Uh-oh. We've created more.
All right, well, I guess see you later. as they begin walking back to the Fungi Forest and head back through to the brush. And I believe that is where we'll end it for tonight.
Huzzah!
Kertz, the fuck
Well-
man.
I've decided he is. How long have we spent down here? It's been a few months, right?
I'm gonna cause problems on purpose.
He wants to. He's done with this. He's done with this bullshit. He wants to get it over with. He wants to go see the goddamn sun.
And some
I can
season.
show you the sun.
Do-do-do-do.
And that is where we will end it tonight. Thank you so much. If you are listening, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you so desire. And until next week, thank you all so much. Good night.